Welcome to Crappens. Don't wait a week for a new video. Join our Patreon at the Crappens On Demand level for instant recap access. Link in description. Enjoy the show.
Hello and welcome to Watch Our Crappens XXL, a podcast about all that crap on Bravo that we just love to talk about. I'm Ben Mandelker, and joining me is the one and only Mr. Ronnie Karam. Hi, Ronnie. How are you?
Hello, Ben. I'm feeling sexy. I'm feeling free. I'm feeling shirtless. I wore a nude-colored shirt just to kind of give off the nude vibe today.
Yeah. You know what? Unfortunately, I'm going to have to stop this podcast because I am a board member of ABT and I will not stand for this vulgarity, okay? And I wore these pants for nothing today. I wore them for nothing.
What a waste of pants.
We are talking Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, okay? The sisterhood of the non-useful pants. And before we dive into that today, first of all, big shout out to Even the Rich podcast. You can find on Wonder Plus. I'm speaking like Sutton all of a sudden. Or any platform, really. Even the Rich, they were so kind. They had us on as guests last night for their live streaming event. If you want to watch that, I believe the replay is on the Wondery Plus website, and I don't think you even need to be a member of Wondery Plus. So they had us on, and we talked all about Scandival. We had so much fun. It's great to meet them, so thanks for having us on. And also, shout out to Lisa. Lisa, I went to my bagel shop this morning, and a lady named Lisa came up and was like, oh my God, I was just listening to you guys on the show. So shout out to Lisa for making my morning this morning at the bagel shop. That really made my day.
Oh, nice.
What are your shout outs, Ronnie?
Just dick. I'd like to shout out all the dick on the show. Just flopped around. Made me remind what a classy woman I am.
Shout out to
I don't have any
pants.
shout outs. You know, I'm in LA still. I went to Vegas last weekend, and I've been Vegas. I realized listening to ourselves on Jeff Lewis that I say Vegas. It's Vegas, Las Vegas. Okay, but get rid of my trash accent.
How do you say it? Say it
Vegas.
again. In your Vegas.
Vegas. Yeah, I say Vegas
instead of Vegas.
Vegas, Las Vegas. So
Vegas.
I went there, and then I've been here in LA, and it's just been a whirlwind. Okay, it's been going here, going there, talking to this, doing this thing, going to that dinner, going to this dinner, changing my clothes, taking a shower a day, washing my face, just
Waking
doing
up in
things
the
I normally
morning.
don't do. I mean, taking a shower every day alone has been an incredible journey. Okay, I don't even know how I still have skin. My skin's just not used to that. I live at home. I'll take a shower once every couple of days. I'll do it Naomi Southern Charm French style, but not this time. And Uber here and Uber there and getting to know all the people from the Uber world. And I'm exhausted. I don't know how you fucking people live life like this. I can't wait to go back into my bed, into a town where I know nobody, and just sleep.
Yeah.
People
LA's
actually get up and
exhausting.
move around all day.
It's exhausting. It's a tough time, but it's made a little easier with you being around.
I've only seen you.
That was a compliment, Ronnie. Yeah, we've seen
I
each
don't
other.
believe it.
We've seen each other two times in a row because we did
Yeah,
Jeff
it was
Lewis's
pretty
show
good.
on Tuesday, and then we did Even the Rich yesterday, and now we're here podcasting.
And it's been really fun seeing you in real life.
Yeah.
There's no complaints about you.
It's
It's just
good.
the
You got
whole
to
getting in
drive
the
in
park,
Kia.
going outside. There's just a lot involved in the real world. And I just like to give a shout out to all the people that live in the real world and go out there every day and just contribute to the economy like that. You guys are really doing a great job out there.
Shout
I
out
see
to
you.
real Americans. Okay.
Well, anybody, there's a lot of work from home Americans like us. Well, you're a work from home American who actually goes out and does stuff. I'm a work from home American who does not go out and do stuff. The most I do is like home goods. And when I go to the home goods, I turn on the walking thing on my watch so that I can get some steps in.
Oh yeah, I cheated on my watch the other day. I walked home from the bakery, from Tartine. I walked home and I was like, are you doing an outside walk? I was like, sure am. Thanks for noticing. Someone takes notice around here. And then I forgot to turn it off. So then my watch, then I did a 2-hour outdoor walk in which 10 minutes I walked in, an hour and 50 minutes I sat on my bed. And then when I realized I was still doing my workout, then the watch yelled at me and was like, you're doing a lot of like low impact exercise. I just want you to know your trends are down. I was like, excuse you, watch. It was a mistake.
I was going to say it's going to shame you now because in a couple of days it's going to be like, well, not exercising as much as you were the other day when you exercised for 2 hours. And that was the saddest exercise I've ever seen. And you're falling even below that, you fat, unhealthy bastard. Love your
Hey,
phone.
chefs. Chefs, raise your hand if you actually do your full exercise when you say you're exercising. No? Oh, that's too bad. Just turns into Padma.
Hi, chefs. You might want to stand up and breathe. Like, really? So you
Hi,
remind
chefs.
people to breathe now? They're still doing that. They're reminding people to breathe. Why don't you just tell me something I know you're really feeling, you judgy ass? Just be like, do you see that pillow right next to you? Push it really hard into your own face.
I would like it if my Apple Watch were more like Padma Lakshmi. So that way when there's like 5 minutes left in the hour, instead of it saying, you can still do it, stand up and move around, it'd be like, chefs, 5 minutes left. 5 minutes left, chefs. Good luck. Hey, well, it's 11:59 and you haven't hit any of your rings. How did the day go for you?
Hitting the rings. God, I've never hit a ring. I don't think I've ever hit a ring. Even when I exercise, I never hit those rings. I don't know what that's like. And guess what? I don't really care what it's like. I don't care. That's one game I don't care about winning.
You know what I wonder what it's like? Recapping Beverly Hills.
Me
I wonder what
too.
that's like to do that.
We should
try
do
to
it.
do it? We should do it.
You know what? I wonder if we would do this if we were on the board of the American Ballet Foundation.
ABT. American Ballet. What does ABT? What's the T stand for again? Troop?
I think
No.
it's Foundation. American Ballet
No, it's
Foundation,
ABT.
isn't it?
American Ballet.
ABF.
No, ABT.
ABF.
It's ABT.
It's ABF.
It's ABT. Okay,
ABF.
look. ABT. Look, ABT, American Ballet Theater. American Ballet Theater, everyone.
But
With an
she's on board
RE.
of the foundation.
Theater RE. It is fancy. Okay? She's ABT.
AB Theatre. Okay, so we are at the hotel in Vegas, which I thought was the Conrad, but Ben is telling me it's the Crockford. So
We have so many controversies happening already in the past minute.
and I just watched the show, by the way, as well. I just pressed stop and then came on, and I don't remember. I mean, it's not that I don't remember. I've just already changed all the facts in my head to suit whatever narrative I've got going on there.
So the ladies from the American Ballet Foundation show up at the Conrad Theater. Crockford doesn't sound like a Vegas hotel. I think that's the issue. Crockford, it sounds like a chain of like restaurants like Cracker Barrel. Crockford.
It does. Yeah,
You
Crockford.
know?
It sounds like a steakhouse version where it's like a $10 steak. You know, they're like, "Whoa, come on over to Crockford Steakhouse," and you go in, and it's like,
Question. Have you ever heard of Johnny Carino's?
of course, it's a classic.
Really?
Yes.
I had literally-
Have I ever been on a date?
Sorry, that was a disgusting wheeze laugh. I had never heard of it until last night. I saw a commercial that was like, come on in and get like a free lasagna with another free lasagna at Johnny Carino's. I was like, what is Johnny Carino's? And it's like a whole thing. And then looked up a review and someone was like, Buca de Beppo is fine, but it's no Johnny Carino's. I had no idea about this place.
Oh yeah, it's been around the block. Johnny Carino's family of restaurants. I'm going to look up restaurants because there's another one out there. Yeah, it's like one of those chain places, but it's nicer and it's delicious. It's delightful. I love it. Love Johnny.
It looks like a place
Carino's.
that Sheena used to work at.
It does look like a place that Sheena's used to work at. It looks like a place we've all used to work at. Anybody has ever served time in food and bev? We've all had this kind of place.
The
Where you're
pictures
in
are
the
hilarious.
Applebee's, but you're like really wanting to be in the Johnny Carino's. And then
Yeah.
there are those people in the Johnny Carino's. And whenever you see them at like bowling alley service night where all the waiters are, they're like too cool for everybody. They're classy. They order like an extra shot in their drinks because they're rich.
Wow. And all the Johnny Carinos look like they're the same shape of building. And I'm looking at it. They all look like sort of McMansions, but with a big sign that says Johnny Carino's on it.
Yeah. Well,
Wow.
it's called class. So
It's called Carino. I'm sure we will have a like next season on the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. It's like Pam Carino. She's like, yeah, my father started Johnny Carino's. Like she'll be like the heir of the Carino dynasty.
well, we had almost the Sprouts girl, member on Below Deck, but nothing much really happened to her. They let her go after one episode. Yeah, they don't really seem to care about chain restaurant people. So
the point is, Crockford Hotel does not sound like it's from Las Vegas. So all the women are sort of sitting around. They've gotten to this hotel. They're having like a lunch in their massive suite, and Crystal is gonna have some truffle mashed potatoes.
Did you say truffle mashed potatoes too? Because I thought you were skipping over it, and I was like,
No.
Ben's not going to talk about truffle mashed potatoes because I am.
No, of course I am. We're in the Johnny Carino segment of the recap, so of course I'm
sick
talking
of
about mashed
fancy
potatoes.
people trying to trick us all into charging us an extra $20 for something because it says truffle on it, and then they just pour truffle oil into normal things. Mashed potatoes are not fancy. We all can agree with that, right? Just because you pour truffle oil on them does not mean they're Crockford worthy.
They're not Crockford. They're more Johnny Carinos. On a scale of Carino to Crockford, it's more on the Carino side of the spectrum. I agree.
Okay, thank you. That's all I need.
This scene was funny to me because I like them all creating plates of food for themselves that you knew they were never going to eat. I mean, let's be honest, it's Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. So
Crystal's line was, I feel like I have to make room for that truffle mash. I was like, really?
So Garcelle comes in. She's like, where are the bitches at? And Dorit's like, well, we were waiting for you to eat. And Garcelle's like, I don't want to eat. I just want to go meet men. Are we really going to eat? I'll eat. I'll eat a man. I'll eat his dick. What I'm trying to say is, Mama's horny. Am I going too hard? Am I going too hard in this confessional right now?
I'm playing too hard with this. Who wants to meet men in Vegas? Nobody gross. I mean, maybe temps. I guess they're just looking for temps. But the men in Vegas, I think, are in their grossest mode, you know? I was walking with the girls the whole time in Vegas for the weekend, and guys literally just like stare at their boobs. Like no shaming it, or like not just like a glance down. They just walk right by, like, I was like, sir, could you stop motorboating my friend? Jeez. We're in line for the cashier, sir.
It was the desk attendant. Yeah, that's a good point. I wonder what sort of men are hanging around the Crockford Hotel or whatever it's called. So then Dorit's like, what on earth? What's going on? So Garcelle's basically, I guess she's already like changed outfits and everything, and no one's changed because they're all eating at this giant table. I'd like to point out a massive table. It looked like they were on the set of The Traitors.
The Traitors. So Garcelle's like, all right, well, also I want to do an intervention. An intervention on how we date. And Kyle's like, oh my God, look at us. Are looking at Sutton.
Oh my God. And Garcelle's like, well, because we go on dates and then we don't do second dates or third dates. And by we, I just mean Pantsy Pants over there in the corner.
And then we see a flashback of 3 weeks earlier. And Crystal's saying, what happened to that guy you showed me that picture of when you were in the bathtub? And Sutton's like, I want to punch you in the face right now, motherfucker.
And basically, Sutton had, like, I guess, she'd shown a picture of herself in the bathtub to a guy. She sent that out or something like that. And then he, like, never got back.
Well, maybe you shouldn't have Ari, like, bathing you know what I mean? Because you know that video of the bathtub was Ari like sponging her down, just going, yes ma'am, yes ma'am, yes ma'am, your hair looks pretty ma'am. Like creepy.
I feel like it was like when Mariah Carey was on Cribs, MTV Cribs, and she like ended the episode by getting into a hot tub. So I feel like Sutton was trying to recreate that in a weird way, because I feel like I've always had this thing. And I don't need anyone to support me on this because I feel like I'm probably the only one who feels this way. But I've always felt like Sutton looks strangely like Mariah Carey. So like when she said that she took a picture in the bathtub, I really could imagine it. I really could imagine Sutton doing a weird Sutton version of Mariah Carey with like rose petals and like waving goodbye to an MTV crew.
Yeah, you know, maybe the guy was just like, that's too many bubbles. It's too much of a flower petal bubble ratio. Flower bubble to petal ratio. I don't need that. It was like the
The guy's
least
like, "You've
sexy
lost your
bathtub
voice."
picture ever. Or maybe it was like November 1st, and it was like, dun, 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 na, 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 na.
Or better yet, it was she sent the picture on like December 23rd, and the guy's like, "I want us like I'm turned on by you, but honestly, I'm so sick of your song right now. I don't think I can date you any longer." She's like, "I'm not Mariah Carey."
I'm sorry, but I cannot get a boner for you during the Christmas season. Can we please talk again in the new year?
All I want for Christmas is
The
Sutton.
American Ballet Foundation Theater.
All I want for Christmas is not seeing a stripper's head in someone's vagina for once. On the ballet theater board.
So they give her shit about being in the bathtub, and Garcelle's like, "So you sent that picture to Avi scrubbing you down in the bath, or Ari? Is it Ari or Avi?
Avi.
Avi scrubbing you down in the bathroom," and she goes, "And I didn't get asked out again." So, listen, you don't go on first dates. And Garcelle's like, I do go on first dates. Like, no, you don't. So when you go on a first date, then you can talk to me about my second date. And Erica's like, where's this coming from? Where's it coming from, guys? And Dorit's like, I'm very, 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 very curious right now. Where's this coming from, Kyle?
And Kyle's like, well, she goes on a great first date, and then a second date like doesn't happen. And so Dorit's like, oh, but is it a great date though? Is it great? And Kyle's like, they kissed. And so Dorit's like, so a really great date. And then you kissed. And then what happened? This is almost like the time that PK picked out a peppermint patty from the Best Buy line. He just made out with that thing.
Well, and then I just
episode again.
Well, and then I just didn't really hear from him again. And she tells us, I had one of my favorite dates ever. I went to dinner with him. I let him come to my house. We played backgammon. Wow, that's really a big sexual thing on Real Housewives, because this was a plot line on New York. Like, whoa, we didn't even have sex. You know what? We just played backgammon. He taught me how to play backgammon. So I don't know if that's like the older generation's like bang game or something that I'm missing, but it seems to come up enough that I think that's like a fucking game, or it means fucking. So she's like, we played backgammon. We had a very nice conversation. And then I never heard from him again.
And she had also, for a second date, she invited him to go to the ABT Gala, which is black tie, and it's in New York. And so Dorit's like, well, gee, honey, I mean, it was a good kiss, but then you don't follow up with, can you please fly across the coast? You follow up with, would you care to be in a roller skating version of Peter Pan starring Boy George, and you get to be a mermaid? We throw pies in your face. That's a second date.
And she tells us, this is not the right thing to do. How would you feel if a man invited you on your second date, said, I barely know you, get on a plane, let's go across to Europe, let's go across the country, just you and me, or spend tons of... All right, well, if the situations were reversed, she would have married Piquet, wouldn't she?
I'm like, you're the one who just did Pretty Woman cosplay. Honestly, I 100% support... I support Garcelle, but I support Sutton and, saying, come with me to a black tie gala in New York for ABT. And here's why. Sure, that might be a lot. But you know what, though? If you're like 23 years old, it's like, oh my God, that's like so intense for a second date. But you know what, though? Sutton is a rich lady who travels in rich circles. It's pretty significant. Being on the board of ABT is significant. ABT is not just like Johnny Carino's, okay? It is like a major, arts organization. And she needs like a guy. I think she needs a guy who's going to say like, yeah, I'm down. Let's take me. I'll fly across the country with you. Or at the very least, she needs a guy who can say, fun idea, can't make it. Hit me up when you get back. But she does not. I think it's a really good weeding tool, and I fully support her inviting a guy to ABT Black Tie Gala event.
I do too. And I would add to that, not only should you invite him to the event to make sure he's comfortable with it, you should invite him to the event and make him carry your purse and
Yep.
stand right behind you while you talk to everybody, because that's the
Yeah.
life he's going to be leading. Like, you need to make sure someone is comfortable in the role. And that's what Sutton's husband is going to do. Let's face it.
Yeah, you need to be like, you need to like abandon him in the corner while while you talk to Misty Copeland, and then at the end of the night you say, "Oh, you're still here. Oh, good. Let's go get a bite."
And we don't know that this guy was uncomfortable. They're assuming it was like, oh my God, she's already asking me to fly across the country. I have a feeling it was more like fucking ballet. I have to sit through ballet. Because listen, ballet is a beautiful art form, but not everybody's into it. And if you're not into it, it just looks like to me, well, I don't want to make ballet people upset, but I respect
it.
what they do. But when I watch ballet, I think, oh my God, these are all tortured children, because I know that their mothers force them into this at a very young age. Their feet are all broken. I've known a lot of ballet
Yes.
dancers in my life. They're in pain. They're put down like freaking animals, like horses with a broken leg at some point. They're just like, your ankle's wonky. Give her the shot. So
They
I
all
know-
hallucinate about Mila Kunis. That's for sure. Barbara
All I
Hershey is
see
really mean
is-
to them.
I basically, no matter how old the ballet artist is, I just see child abuse. And I just want to call it out. It's like child abuse, and the women in ball gowns standing around like, isn't this graceful? Look at the arch on her foot. And to me, it's just
No
like
wonder
a
why
whole
gay men
big
love
sick
it.
world. Yeah.
This is like also known as every movie that gay men love. Like tough mothers, broken down women. We're in. I also think it's a good test because I think it's important for Sutton to know if the man that she's dating knows the difference between ABT, as in the American Ballet Theater, versus ABT, the giant electronics online store. So,
Or AGT, America's Got Talent. It could be somebody who's
especially
like, oh my
that.
God, I can't wait to see that. Is Simon still on the show? I'm always cheering for the jugglers. I hope there's a juggler.
Do you know that's like I've heard that's the most expensive show on NBC is America's Got Talent.
Expensive because they're flying
Yes.
in all the people, or what?
It's to fly in all these people, and they like, I guess, the insurance and yada yada yada. But it apparently is a logistical nightmare, and it's very, very expensive. So next time we see this Real Housewives of Salt Lake City going on a regional trip to like Carson City, Nevada, it's because probably America's Got Talent sucked up all of Comcast's budget.
They flew in an 8th grader who could do really intense backbends while playing a tiny piano. Okay, that's why your vacation sucks, Salt Lake City.
I know. Anyway, ballet, it's great. So, by the way, I do know someone who is a former ballerina who does listen to the show, and I feel like she probably would agree with everything you said. So,
I
anyway,
stand for you, ballet people. I'm just trying to help you. I stand against your mothers. Okay. So now they're talking about another part of Sutton's dating style, which is her texting and how that needs work. So Kyle steals her phone and she's reading a message, and it says, "Thought you'd like these. Your triceps look good." I guess she was sending the bathtub picture and saying, maybe you'll like these bathtub pictures. Also, your triceps look good.
or maybe like pictures of the two of them together, or something like that. Maybe I'm thinking that
Okay.
she's like, here's a picture on my phone, So then they're all laughing that she said, "Oh, your triceps look good," and they all start to laugh. And then Garcelle's like, "Triceps, your triceps," and Kyle's like, "How about your eyes?" Or how about you know what looks good? Your performance in Halloween Kills. Oh, was that just me? Sorry. Maybe not a universal compliment.
Yeah, they're all wrong, I have to say. A guy loves to hear his triceps look good.
Loves it.
I don't even know
Loves
what my
it.
triceps are. And I have certainly not been helped by any man in the world, because no one has ever said, "Ronnie, your triceps look good." No one's ever
Yeah.
said, "Where are your triceps?" So I guess that's a positive. But wow. I'm just getting sadder. So Dorit's like, "How to Lose a Guy in 10 Days, Part 2, starring Sutton.
PK then interrupts, "Ladies and gentlemen, Berlin." It's like, not from How to Lose a Guy from 10 Days, Berlin.
Okay, so Kyle starts messing around with Sutton's phone, and Sutton's just like, don't,
Because
don't.
She FaceTimes the guy. Kyle does this. I hate this. I hate this. This happens all the time. Kyle's like, oh my God, oops, I hit FaceTime. Kyle acts like she doesn't know how to use a phone when she's on it all the time, as we all are. But she suddenly acts like, oops, I hit FaceTime. That does not happen. That doesn't happen where you accidentally hit FaceTime to someone. Kyle does it. She's stirring the pot. She's doing that bratty little kid thing. Like, how about someone hits the FaceTime on Morgan Wade text messages? How about that?
Oh, she would love Morgan Wade would love it. You know, Morgan Wade is just sitting over there like, maybe I'm going to get FaceTime today.
Okay, Lisa
Hey, I'm
Vanderpump.
just creating
How
the
about
music
that?
for Crockford's. Hey, just please don't bother me unless anyone else FaceTimes me besides Kyle, okay? Because I'm in here creating the background music for Crockford's Steakhouse, okay?
Hey, this is Morgan Wade, and I want to let you know that for a limited time only, when you buy lasagna at Johnny Carino's, you get unlimited Diet Cokes. Johnny Carino's, where you go for not just SpaghettiOs.
But it's Morgan Wade, so it has to end with a little ding, 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 ding.
Sorry, that was implied.
Johnny Carino's country crock dish. We're bringing a dish from the country for women who like women.
For a limited time only, Johnny Carino's is partnering with Crawford's to bring you the best of the South and of Italy. It's called the Fried Chicken Lasagna.
We're basing the dish on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Kyle Richards, and Morgan Wade. It's called Is They or Isn't They? And it's a mix of penne and spaghetti.
And no one will eat it.
Okay, so they're FaceTiming, and Sutton's like, "Oh my God, stop it! What did you just do, Kyle? What did you just do? This is not very American Foundation Theater of you." And Kyle's like, "I hung up. It was just a butt dial. What? Don't give my phone to Kyle. She's dangerous, everybody." So it's like wacky, and then we see a flashback of 1 year earlier. We see back to Kyle's previous
old
ears.
Actually, on this show, to say 1 year earlier is like not that bizarre. It's like, okay.
When you start marking Housewives seasons by ears.
Oh my goodness. I'm just writing down a list. Okay, people we've offended today: ballerinas, people from the South, potentially Italians. Okay, continue.
People with ear jobs.
People with ear jobs.
I want an ear
Okay.
job. You know, they always say growing older, you can really moisturize and really try and stop a lot of it, but there's no way you're ever going to stop your ears or your nose. God damn it, that's true. Those ears just start flapping away over here.
But some people's ears get really big. Like, do you remember the actor Harry Dean Stanton?
Yes.
He was like, he was one of his last roles was on Twin Peaks, the new Twin Peaks, and he was there. He must have been in his 90s, and his ears. I was like, do our ears really get that big? His ears were humongous. I was like, wow, that's gonna be my future. Big
Going
flappy
for Mr.
Ben ears.
Potato Head size ears, aren't those like really gigantic? I think they're really big.
Yeah, I think so.
They're like as big as a whole potato. I'm going for that. That's my goal. I don't want to just have big ears. I want to have the biggest ears where people are like, oh my God, Ronnie, fuck yes, those lobes. It's just like,
I'm not going for
boners.
Mr. Potato. I'm not going for Mr. Potato, but I am going for Mr. Truffle Potato.
Look, I'm fancy. I'm a very fancy potato, so I'm Crockford worthy. I'm a Crockford worthy.
I want to be I want to be the sort of Mr. Potato Head you'd find at Crockford's, both the restaurant chain and the hotel.
Oh, okay. So they have some wacky moments on there, and Kyle's like, "I'm just gonna say this: you're smart, you're beautiful, you're funny, you're beautiful and funny. And if they don't respond to you right away, they can just go fuck off, okay?" And Garcelle's like, "Yes, their loss."
I love when people do that. They're like, "What the fuck is wrong with you on these dates? You're so ridiculous. You should not be sending those text messages. But you know what, though? If they don't like you, they don't know what they're missing because you're beautiful and wonderful. But seriously, what the fuck are you doing on these dates?"
Well, can we face it? Nobody on this cast knows how to date. Like no one is really in the position to give her dating advice.
Generally, I don't think the term date or dated or dating is acceptable with these women. That's actually a trigger for them. It's like, oh, wow, She's looking rather dated. Oh, back to the surgeon.
So Garcelle's like, all right, well, let's just go to our rooms and take a little break, and then we'll get ready and go to Magic Mike. So it's Magic Mike time, everybody. We've known it's coming. No pun intended. So Kyle and Dorit, basically everybody just goes into their room, and Dorit's like, oh, can you believe that Crystal, of all people, brought Gleam? She brought Gleam.
Dorit is furious because for the first time ever, she decided not to bring Glam because, I don't know, like she decided that she thought because it was a Crystal vacay, she thought they were going to be low-key. So she didn't bring Glam. Kyle didn't bring Glam, and everyone else brought Glam. And she is so mad about it.
And then Sutton's looking through her clothes, and she cannot find her trousers for tonight. Where's Avi? If Avi has fucked this up too, God, that guy is just not focused. Avi! And then she texts him, come to my room. And then just looks at her phone like, well, I just told him. I just told him off. I said, come to my room. That's what I said.
So Avi's the sort of gay who walks into a room saying, okay. He comes in and goes, okay. Like, okay.
Because it's
a way.
always
It's like
something. He knows it's not like, hey, just wanted to check on your day. He's just coming like, what shit show is next? He's like an emergency room
like,
nurse.
I am here.
You know?
I am here. I already know you're being irrational. I'm stating okay to both to reassure you that everything is okay, but also like you need to stop whatever you're about to say. You need to stop it because you're already wrong. I'm telling you right now, you're already wrong.
It's basically like everything's okay. Everything's gonna be okay. What do you need? Where do you need me?
So she can't find her pants. The pants are a big deal because previously on the show, Erica told everyone on the plane when they go to see Magic Mike, wear pants. So that way, if you're brought up onto the stage and things go wild, you don't have to worry about a wardrobe malfunction because you got pants on. So she's looking for her pants.
There's a clip of her saying when she hears that, she's so happy. And she says, I brought pants. I even brought panties. So she's ready. She's brought her pants and her panties, and she hopes she gets called up on stage, is what we're all led to believe from this clip.
Yeah.
Which surely they'll only play that one time.
So he comes in, and Garcelle's like, ha, 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 you're in so much trouble, Avi. And he's like, oh, God, should I just dig my own grave? And so it's like, Avi, there are no white pants in this closet. Okay, there are no white pants. I'll tell you who wouldn't have messed that up. Joshua. Okay, can we dig him up out of whatever gay bar he's in northern Minnesota? Where the hell did that guy go anyway?
Look at it. And Sutton's like, yeah, look at him. He's shaking because he's in so much trouble. Avi, you better find those white pants. And he just walks right in there and pulls out the white pants. She goes, okay, well, never mind. I just didn't see them then, so you live another day. Okay, good for you.
She's like, well, apparently I need a map, okay? Because I don't like this nonsense. I like to unpack myself so I'm in complete control, and I like control. If you like to unpack yourself, then why did you pull the Diana Jenkins and have Avi go ahead of you and put everything in the closet? Don't tell it. We saw what happened. Those clothes did not arrive there by magic, Mike.
She definitely copied that from Diana because she didn't do that before. But now she does the whole, I have a gay who goes in there and unpacks everything for me. But she's like, yeah, well, I like to unpack my set. Well, I don't mean my clothes. I unpacked Avi, okay? I let Avi out of the box that we shipped him in on the airplane.
So, Sutton just is like singing. She's like, the day is done, gone the sun. What was the melody? Do you remember the melody?
I don't know.
Apparently
But
it's a
she's
real
just
one.
like, Avi's not dead. Off with your head. So Avi just runs down the hallway. It's like, please, God. So now Crystal is showing off
Everyone's
her new
glam.
Valentino bag that she got for herself for her birthday. And Erica's like, well, I'm taking everyone to Magic Mike, and we're going to get homegirl Crystal on stage, and we're going to embarrass the fuck out of Crystal. Yeah.
Yeah. And then Dorit is doing Kyle's hair, giving Kyle her hair tendrils that she loves so much, her like long hair fangs. And then they're just like, it's like glam squads, lots of glam squads, all that stuff. And then we have a very special moment because Garcelle pulls 2 bottles of ocean spray out of Sutton's hands. And Garcelle's like, girl, look at this, girl. Like, God forbid that there's no ocean spray wherever you're going. And we find out now that Sutton has like an obsession with ocean spray.
Yeah, she can only have ocean spray grapefruit juice, which is triggering to anybody who is in Weight Watchers as a child. Because in the old
Really?
days at Weight
That's the thing.
Watchers, it was grapefruit, and cottage cheese. Those are the things. I'm still triggered by grapefruit. I can't believe anybody would have that on purpose. But
very
she's
80s.
like, yeah, I need to have my own ocean spray grapefruit juice with me. Look, Beyonce likes hot sauce in her bag, and I like ocean spray grapefruit juice in my bag. Okay, us Southern girls know what we like.
One, I appreciate you, like trying to raise yourself up to Beyonce's level with ocean spray. I got ocean spray in my bag. Doesn't quite have that same, I don't know, doesn't have that same punch, you know? I don't know what it is, just doesn't have it.
So Garcelle's giving her shit about it, and Erica's getting ready to slip into her latex outfit.
Yeah, and so there's a lot of like, the typical like, what are you wearing? Woo! Walking down the hallway, look at us strutting. Whoa! So everyone's like gathering together. Sutton's getting her grapefruit juice and everything, and they all meet up with Garcelle at the bar and everything. And it's just like more. It's like it's the usual Beverly Hills stuff of everyone showing off their outfits and stuff.
It's
So
the usual Beverly Hills. Oh my God, you look amazing. You look so good. Is that pleather? Oh my
You're
God, is that
killing it.
money?
So Sutton says, at this point, as they gather at the bar in their suite, Sutton once again reiterates, I don't like pants. I don't wear pants a lot. But so she doesn't even like to wear pants, but she's wearing the pants because she's hoping to be brought up on stage. That's
Yes.
the implication.
So flashback one day earlier on the plane to Vegas.
When we go to Magic Mike, if you want to get on stage, you got to wear pants.
I have pants and panties because we're in Vegas and I'm going to get up on that stage and I'm going to dance with strippers. I mean, come on, why not? Nobody's gonna take that away from me. So that's the clip again. So we know she's very excited. Sorry to keep repeating it, but so does the show. Okay, yell at the show, not at me. So Erica
Yeah.
comes out in her black
She's-
leather outfit.
It's like so, like it's all the way up to her neck. She looks so visibly uncomfortable. And then Kyle's like, oh my God, this is giving me, was it Berlin? Yeah, babe, Berlin, ladies and gentlemen. In the corner, you just see the band's just still there singing "Take My Breath Away." Really trying to force Berlin on us, PK. Not for Magic Mike.
Well, you said that Erica looks really. What'd you say? Like really?
It's sort of like it looks. It's
stuffy?
like stuffy. Yeah, she looks
That's
uncomfortable.
Erica's vibe. I think that's Erica's vibe, and people who are into Erica they have that kink, just a stuffy kink. They're like, wow, you know what I really want to be with tonight? Someone who just doesn't want to be here. It's just like someone who looks like they just don't want to be here. And that's the vibe. I've seen a lot of clips from her show. I saw her doing clips of her doing her BravoCon
Pat the bus.
class or whatever she was doing there. And I was like, I always thought this was just bad performing. But now that I see more of it, I think that's her style. It's just like, I'm dancing for you, but I hate it. And people are like, oh my God, you guys, Erica really hates this. Isn't it great?
So then, like, Sutton pulls out a giant stack of singles, like a giant stack. I mean, you could buy a whole meal at Johnny Carino's with that stack of singles. And she has
I'm offended
them.
when I see the singles, aren't you? I mean, I feel like the economy has risen a lot and you're very rich. I feel like it's offensive to give a single dollar to somebody for dick. Like, come on, at least a $5. $5s are the new ones.
I just remember one of the first times I went to a gay bar and there was like a go-go dancer there, and I put like a single into like his little G-string thing, and then like I just put a single in and he was like, oh nice, and then I like walked away and my friend was like, no Ben, you gave him a single, he is your employee now, you do whatever you want until he says no.
Oh hell no.
I was like, wow, is that how we treat our strippers now?
Now, yeah.
That's I'm just
terrible.
thinking about like that's how we
But that
treat
is so.
strippers.
That's why I get offended. And I've never been a stripper, obviously, but I do get offended because it's like the shittiest tippers in the world are the ones who boss you around the most. You know what I mean? It's like, I gave you 10%, and now I'm going to work you like mad. It's like, God damn it. And I feel like that's how dollar people are. Like, I gave you $1, suck my dick. I'm like, no, that's sir. $1 is you have the presence of, or you have the pleasure of being in my presence. Okay, it's going to cost a lot more money to get anything else out of me.
So would you say like the appropriate amount that you should tip a stripper should be like about as equal as like what you give the tooth fairy? Because growing up, you give about like, I think you get, or what you get from the tooth fairy.
No, you
like,
give the tooth fairy teeth. Like, I don't expect people to give their teeth.
I got a tooth for you, stripper. I meant the other way
a
around.
Stripper just walking around with a necklace of teeth.
Some people would be into
today,
it.
Bitch.
No, I meant like growing up, I think you would get like $1. I think I got like $1. Maybe I'd get a quarter. I don't know. Maybe I had a cheap tooth fairy.
We
But I think I got like $1
because our tooth fairy was like, I don't know. I feel like our tooth fairy did us right. It was always a silver $1.
But now I think kids get like $5, maybe even more. So I kind of feel like
Get
stripper
fucking
tips,
golf carts now.
even
Fucking kids.
underage golf carts. I was just gonna say that maybe I would say that probably stripper tipping fees are probably in line with tooth fairy rewards.
To start, at least I would say a bundle of fives. I would say like 5 to 10 to start, and then if you want any ball smacking you in the face, you're gonna need at least a 10 to 20.
Oh,
And
you're gonna have
then
strippers at your
any
door, Ronnie.
nastiness beyond that. What?
You're gonna have strippers at your door. You are tipping well. They are gonna be lining up at your Airbnb.
I
in
just
2
feel,
seconds.
I feel for them because they're like, people are taking such advantage of them, so I like to give them a lot of money. And then all of my friends are like, oh my God, the strippers really like you. I'm like, yeah, it's just because I'm nice to them, but I'm nice to them financially.
Yeah.
I'll get a second job just to help the strippers. And I'm always like, you could do something, like, what are you into? What are you studying for? You're studying for something, right? Let's make this happen.
Teeth. I'm studying for teeth. But you know what I was skeeved out about? That giant stack of dollars. I was like, all I could think about was germs. I don't know. Like, if I touch too much cash, I get grossed out. Like, because I always
gross,
think,
yeah.
like I always think about the first time I went into a casino, it was in Reno, and I hit the jackpot like right away, and like the coins coming out. And at that point, it was coins, not these days. It's like little ticket vouchers. But like I had a bucket, and the coins come out, and you're basically with your hand, you're pushing them into the bucket, and then like when you hit the jackpot, it's like a lot of quarters. You're like doing for like a while. You're doing it, and then you look at your hand, and your hand is black, and it's so gross. So I think handling all those singles, I just think of like my hand turning like the color of like a street.
Well, I think everything else is turning into Venmo tipping, like we used to joke about putting a slide card in your butt crack a long time ago. Remember that?
Yeah.
But now I think
Like a
there's
square
probably
reader.
QR codes on butts. And I don't know how you decide who you're going to smack in the face with nuts. You have to like look at all the tiny pictures. Like you have to scroll through the tips while you're dancing, look for the tiny little bald head. It's like that could be Harvey Weinstein if he was still out in the world. Okay, I'm gonna click that. Let me see how much he gave me. Okay, guys. And then he has to like clip his phone to his G-string and then come start smacking me in the face with his nuts.
I'm just gonna like scan his Venmo QR code that he's tattooed onto his thigh, and then like I'll put my tip, and then I'll just wait for him to look for the attendee who looks like Ruth Buzzy, like a man Ruth Buzzy. You're like, oh, there's Ben Mandelker.
You're ridiculous. You're ridiculous. Okay, so she's handing out ones to everybody, and Erica's like,
Do not let me touch that money, because the tax authority will say I owe it to them.
That's funny. That was funny. I laughed at that. I laughed at Erica's joke. So they head out to the.
Please don't ever be a studio audience for a sitcom.
I laughed at that. That was funny. Well, there are some people who don't laugh. They just say if things. That was funny.
That was funny.
That was funny. That was funny. I want to be in a studio audience because they don't use studio audience laughter anymore properly. It's all sound effects. But like I was watching an episode of The Golden Girls the other day, and someone was losing their mind, and they were like gasping in the background, and you could hear it, and like no one else was laughing. And I was like, I miss those. That would be me. Except I'd be saying that was funny. That was funny. So anyway, they're going to Magic Mike, And we have a flashback of Erica's talking to Mikey because Erica's like, well, we're going to Vegas, so do you think we could possibly go to Magic Mike? And Mikey's like, of course, yeah.
And I'd love if all the girls could get a chance to get on stage and have that experience.
And he's like, so she tells us,
I know many of the men who are in this show. Davis, who's Mikey's partner, that guy's in the show.
and then they show a picture of Davis. Holy gorgeousness, Davis. Good God. Fall down gorgeous, man.
Yeah.
Really have nothing else to say but that, but I'd just like to take a moment to all just bathe in the beauty of Davis.
Yeah.
Thank
Davis, you're doing great work. Those guys at I saw Magic Mike. I saw Magic Mike a few years ago. It is it's an attractive cast. I'll tell you that much. It is an attractive cast of dancers. It's also a really good show, by the way. It's like just like a good show. You're like, wow, look at that. It's amazing what they're doing. It's on a rope and everything.
On a rope.
Just a little endorsement.
Hot. Yes.
Yeah, there's like aerialism and all that stuff, and there's all sorts of stuff happening.
Okay, so we go to the theater. Everybody's walking into the theater to get their special Housewives seats. And Sutton's like, I'm sorry, but my pants are very long. But I've got them. Pants. Gosh, I would hate it if someone spread eagle me on this stage up here.
Got some stage ready pants. Got some extra padding in there in case my butt happens to wind up on a stage and I'm placed there by a muscular man. Just got them ready. Got wearing my pants, stage pants. Mm-hmm. So they all sit there and they're put up in like the balcony and everything. And so now Sutton's already starting to get like a little upset because she realizes she's not going to get to use her stack of dollars that she had taken out from or had Avi take out. She's like, well, we can't use our dollars. Can't use them. Oh, well.
Right, they get sat in the front of the balcony, which means they're not within touching distance, which it's like great to have seats, but you're not, you're not.
But it's also not a tipping show
section.
I'm pretty sure it's not, if I remember correctly, it's not really a tipping show. It really is actually more of a show than like strippers. Like in a sense, like there's some that get on people's laps, but you're kind of watching a performance more than anything else.
Right. It would maybe it would be rude to tip.
It might be weird. I'm sure people do tip. I mean, I'm sure.
It's like if you're sitting in the front row of Mean Girls on Broadway and you're just like throwing up a 5. You're like, you did great, Regina. I loved your solo. Where's the 5? She's like, I'm an artist. How dare you?
I deserve $10.
Let it go, let it go. Wow, that's worth a 20. That's worth a 20. Come here. Take it from my teeth. Take it from my teeth, Elsa.
Little reindeer coming by. Oh yeah, that's a 20 for that reindeer. Yes,
I was
queen.
a rich man. La-di-da-di-da.
Oh, here, have a 50. Have a 50, Tevya.
I've got $10 for Yenta.
We just end Fiddler on the Roof. Like, hey, if everybody gave Tevya $50 right now, we wouldn't have to deal with this shit. Okay? Let's just wrap this musical up early. Wrap it up.
Ma'am, you hello, this is welcome to the Winter Garden Theater. We'd like to request no tipping during the bottle dance. It'll actually be an issue.
Guys, I've adopted Annie. They're like, sorry, the rest of the performance has been called off. Annie has been adopted by this bald man in the front row.
Is this the little boy I carried? No, but here's the 20. Carry that instead.
Okay, so the show starts, and the MC's like, welcome to the biggest beef ballet in Las Vegas.
Buffet.
The best beef buffet.
I'm on
in
ABC.
Las
How dare
Vegas.
you say that? I'm an American buffet theater.
That's my charity, the American Buffet Theater.
Welcome to the biggest beef buffet in Las Vegas. If you're in the front row, you're gonna get wet because we have an issue with our pipes. So we apologize ahead of time, but the show must go on.
I'm not referring to your vaginas, okay? We're not dirty people at all. It's a very clean show.
The sprinkler system has been malfunctioning, so we apologize ahead of time. Here's some ponchos to wear on your vaginas and the rest of your body too, because we have a real sprinkler system issue.
So they start dancing, and Sutton's like, oh, I'm kind of into this. Why am I into this? Because it's hot ass, gigantic, naked man, Sutton. Why wouldn't you be
Hottest
into it?
guys in Nevada are writhing in front of you. That's why. Did you see the guy you went on a date with last year? Okay, this is why you're into it.
So they're doing their thing, and Sutton's like, "We wore pants. We wore pants in your face. In your face. We wore them. Come on down here. We got some pants on." And they're just like wooing and loving it.
I see London. I see France. I see a stripper's head in my pants. Come on, get up here.
Oh my God, Avi couldn't find this guy's pants either. I'm telling you, that guy's no good. Look at all these men walking around with no pants.
So then my favorite part of all this is while this happens, it keeps cutting to Dorit with her phone. And Dorit, who, this poor lady, she's just had to endure some sort of Pretty Woman thing with PK at the Beverly Wilshire Hotel. I mean, her Magic Mike is PK. So she's seeing all these guys. Her eyes are like saucers, and she just has her camera out the entire time. She's like, ooh, gee, ooh, string, ooh, and then she's just scanning back and forth with the biggest smile on her face.
So now Erica gets led onto the stage with Crystal, the birthday girl. And Sutton just figures that's all that's going to be taken up on the stage. And so she turns to Garcelle and she's like, I wore pants for fucking nothing. Like she's all mad that she's not the one who's up there who's about to get it. So then they get into the act, and Erica's really, of course,
I'm a showman, Dorit. I'm a showman.
so she's very like rubbing herself, and she's in her pleather outfit because she knew she was going to be up there. And she's like, yeah, she's like fully doing the thing. Erica ain't, listen, about as many people are here to see you as they are at your own show to see you. Nobody. Okay, just stop.
But Erica, I was actually happy for Erica because she was so into it. I mean, her legs were, they were to the left, to the right, above her head. This was not showmanship. She was like, honestly, I don't give a fuck if everyone wants. Just do me right now, you hot piece of ass. She was ready for it. And I was cracking up. That was funny.
She does, like, he opens her legs, she spread eagles, and then he starts, like, simulating eating her out. I was trying to find a cunnilingus. He starts simulating. Oh my God,
Johnny Cunnilingus
talking about cunnilingus. Johnny Carino's cunnilingus on the menu.
For today only, guess what? Come in for lasagna and get a free side of cunnilingus at Johnny Carino's.
Okay, so they're doing that, and then Crystal is jumping on the guy, and she's like, "Oh my God, this is so much fun!" So the producer's asking Erica, "Did Tom ever have moves like this?" No, Tom didn't ever have moves like that. Are you kidding? And she's like,
No, he had other moves, and clearly that landed me in hot water. But I'm not going to say that robbing orphans and widows wasn't sexy in its own way. Bless that man. I'm actually thinking of it as I'm getting eaten out right now. It's like, think of one thing while getting done by the other thing. It's actually perfection, baby.
So Sutton is really like, she's now gone from being like salivating at the mouth to now she's like scowling, looking off to the side. She's decided that she has to reframe all this. So she's like, so Garcelle's like, are you okay? And then Sutton's like, so she basically is like, oh, well.
she tells furious. Yeah, they make it look like she got furious the second that they opened their legs and then it went to cunnilingus. They make it look like that is the thing that Sutton is like, I am
Furious with cunnilingus.
Mm-hmm.
Now, let me add in here just before we go, because I never have intel, but I did this time because I met Sutton at BravoCon. I met her at the Jeff Lewis party thing, and I don't know Sutton, but Ryan Bailey knows Sutton, so he was over talking to Sutton. And that was nice. I just tagged along because I wanted to see what Sutton was like. Of course, I'm not an idiot. It's BravoCon. So I was like, hi. And she was so nice and everything, but we were talking about this because we had just both seen the previews for this week. So we were talking about this, and she's like, oh, y'all, they made it look like something it wasn't. I was just mad because I was worried because once I saw that it was like really dirty, I thought we all had to go up there. Like I thought we all had to turn, and I just didn't want to go up there because I can't do that. I wore pants, and I know that they were going to make me go up there, and I just don't want to look like that because I have this American ballet, whatever, And I was like, oh, okay, whatever. No, I don't buy it now that I've seen it. No,
Yeah,
sorry.
she wanted to go up there.
Yeah, sorry, don't buy it.
Yeah, she knows what she knows what strippers are all about. And honestly, the truth is, if these were real male strippers, they'd be a lot dirtier than what we saw. Like, this is actually tame for a male stripper, if you ask me. So, Garcelle's basically like, yeah, she's like upset that she wasn't chosen to go on stage, and she wore pants. And Garcelle did not wear pants, so she was not brought up on stage. And then they keep on checking in on her, and Sutton's like, I'm leaving. I'm going. I am going. So she gets up and she leaves in a huff, the sort of huff that says, "You better follow me if you're a friend." Okay.
Yeah.
So
leaves
she
and
walks
she's like,
off.
I'm on the board of American Ballet Foundation. I don't do that fucking shit.
So Dorit's like, "This is Sutton, always making herself the center of attention. She can't help herself." So Sutton goes off to the bathroom, and then Garcelle, of course, follows her, because if Garcelle doesn't follow her, then the thing is like, left, and not a single one of y'all followed me into that bathroom. Well, not even real friends.
And I love how Garcelle always deals with Sutton. She's like, Sutton, listen, what's going on with you? Can we not do this in a bathroom? Do I have to sit in a bathroom? Can we sit on a bench? I really need to sit down. Just tell me what it is while I'm sitting down.
I know. She's like, listen, someone clearly went to the actual real beef buffet here in Vegas, and do we have to do this in the bathroom? Okay, let's go out to some fresher air. Okay.
Oh my God, do you see that squirrel on the roof? Look how cute.
No,
He loves
let's
stripper
see.
talk. Do you see him?
He's like, I heard I can get a good tip. Oh, yeah. Look at him. Or her.
That's a big squirrel, right?
It's a big squirrel.
What do you want? Come over here. I'll give you some food. I'll give you some food, squirrel. I've got some secrets.
Oh, yeah. You want to go? She's just going to leave? That squirrel's like, I am on the board of Squirrel Ballet Theater, and this is vulgar.
I'm on the board of Squirrel Ballet Foundation. Okay, SBF.
Listen, I got a reservation at Johnny's Squirrel Reno's, so gotta go.
Squirrel Carinos. Okay, so let's go over to this conversation. So she's like, what's up, Sutton? And then meanwhile, inside, Crystal's saying Sutton's upset. And Erica's like, oh, God, why? Why today? And Kyle gets invited onto the stage for the next round. So she goes up there.
Yes.
And Garcelle is talking to Sutton. She's like, come on, we're having a good time. You were laughing and you were dancing. Then all of a sudden, this. She's like, and then it was a good show. But then I saw my two friends and they had their legs wide open with a man's face.
There was a man inside their legs when they opened it up. What she said, they opened their legs and there was a man's face inside. It's like, wow.
I'm on the board of the American Ballet.
Garcelle's like, I understand. You're literally on an organization of people who open their legs for a living. Yes, this is clear.
You do realize that those people are the most flexible on the planet, don't you?
You do realize you are chair of a board but for people who have professional bulges at all times in front of children.
So she's like, I don't have friends who get up on stages and have men's faces in their crotch. Oh, just such an innocent white lady. I've never, ever seen anything. I'm too rich for cunnilingus.
And it cuts to Kyle. So Kyle's on stage, and the stripper's trying to put like whipped cream. The stripper tries to put whipped cream in her mouth, and she would not allow. She's like, no carbs.
I thought it was so
carbs.
funny that Kyle, who's having like a working out and not eating anything storyline, they're trying to force whipped cream on her. I'm surprised she even let it on her skin.
They should have wheeled out that wheel of Parmesan from that one time. Like, okay, what about this? They just try to see what she will take in. Like, she's like, nope. She's like, on my chest, not in my mouth.
This is my physical journey storyline.
It's like how you're gonna wake up in 3 hours, go to the gym. You can take a little bit of whipped cream.
And Sutton's like, y'all can have fun, y'all can clap along, y'all can think it's great, but I live by a different standard for myself, as started by the Rockefellers.
Listen, I don't watch vulgar performances. Instead, I support things called the Nutcracker. No. Wait a second. So Kyle's like, so then Kyle comes out. She's still wiping the whipped cream off of her chest. She's like, oh my God, that whipped cream tasted so good. And my taste, it felt so good on my chest. So she's like, what's wrong? And Sutton's like, I did not like that, Kyle. She goes, oh, well, you wouldn't have liked what just happened because I just got called out on stage. Oh my God, they're still bringing people up. But they looked at your empty scene. They said, thank God she's not here because we wouldn't have taken her up anyway. Oh my God.
I mean, that's fine. Lick whipped cream off you, it's silly, it's stupid. But spreading your legs wide open with the man's crotch, no. And Garcelle's telling us, listen, I don't know what's going on with Sutton right now. I don't see why she's so wound up about this. I mean, even for Sutton, it's extreme. Sutton was clear. Oh, and Kyle's like, yeah, she's clearly upset that Erica and Crystal were getting all the attention, and she got none.
Yeah. And Kyle starts doing a fake impersonation. She's like fake crying. She's like, no, that's very upsetting that I didn't get to dance with a naked man. So Kyle's like, are you upset that they didn't ask you to go up there because you wore pants and then you didn't even get to wear your pants to go up on the stage? Because by the way, I think it's so funny the way that Garcelle and Kyle treat their friend who is in a state of not hysteria, but like agitation. Garcelle goes out there and just listens. She listens to Sutton. She gently pushes back, but she just listens to Sutton and lets Sutton say her piece. Kyle comes out there and is like, oh, really? Oh, you wouldn't have liked what just happened. Oh, really? This is because you wore pants, isn't it? And it just, I think, shows the difference between how Kyle deals with relationships versus like someone nice and supportive.
Well, it's
like
also
Sutton.
Garcelle,
Like Garcelle.
who's dealt with Sutton so many times, and Sutton's fits, and Sutton's, we all have that
But
crazy
Kyle's dealt
friend that
with
you're
Kim.
just like, okay. I mean,
But the
I feel
point
like
is
Kyle's
that,
like that with Kim.
Yeah, she is. Kyle throws gasoline on fires. That's what she comes out and she points fingers at you when you're crying. That's what she does.
I think this is one of Kyle's most innocent seasons. I don't even think I wrote a thing about Kyle. I was like, whatever. Kyle was fine. I was actually sad for Kyle because she got whipped cream thrown on her. I was like, poor Kyle. I know she's trying so hard.
She refused the stripper's art. Okay, the stripper was like, it's supposed to go in your mouth, not your chest.
So let's see. So, and also Sutton's so ridiculous. I don't care. I'm like, push her, because she's acting like an idiot. I want people to tell her you're acting like a damn idiot.
Yeah.
And those people are stripping up there, working their asses off for you, and you're ruining the show with your ridiculousness.
I mean, it makes for better TV, which is probably why she does it. But I feel like I'm just saying, like, it just I decided to have like a random prosecution of Kyle, and I felt good about it.
No, I'm
Now you're
standing
taking
up
that
for
away
Kyle
from me.
today. I
Okay.
defend Kyle Richards. That's just who I am. It's in my nature, and it's who I've always been here on this show. Watch what happens. There's years of history to support it. If anybody doesn't believe it,
Pro Kyle. You go, Kyle.
She goes, is it about the pants? She's like, Kyle, it is not about the pants. She goes, maybe a little bit. No, it has nothing to do with the stripper pants that I wore. As in, like, they're ready for strippers to put their face in it. It's nothing to do with that whatsoever.
this is not normal. I mean, we're having a great time, and all of a sudden, she's freaking out in the bathroom. She's yelling in the lobby. Actually, it is kind of normal. Hurricane Sutton is here.
Y'all can go enjoy the strip club with its slutty, desultory man and that you came to see, but I don't want to see that, okay? My brand is not that.
And Carl's
I'm
like,
like,
are we talking about your brand right now? Really?
Sutton, your store is like 3 doors down from the Abbey, okay? It's more your brand than you realize.
Not to mention your store, you're selling T-shirts that say Slutton on them. So
Did you really?
yeah, because like people, her
Slutton.
fans call themselves the Sluttons. And
Oh,
so
that's
she sells
amazing.
a shirt with a gay pride flag that says Slutton on it.
Don't do that. Don't, because Kyle's like, oh, we're talking about your brand right now. As far as I can see, there's not a ubiquitous hat you're wearing on every scene. And Sutton's like, don't do that. No, just enjoy the show. I'm not going to be part of this. And Garcelle's like, come on, I want to talk with you. I'm not going to be blamed, and we're not going to blame the pants. That's one thing we're not going to do. We're not going to blame the pants. I chose to wear the pants because I like pants all of a sudden, and I decided to wear them tonight for one night only, okay?
I'm just very uncomfortable with this whole thing. Okay, sorry. Call me a prude. Call me a prude. I don't get a second date. I don't fucking care. I wear a kitty sweater on my first date. I don't care. It's who I am.
I never said I was the best mother in the world, but give me some credit for trying, okay? So this
Best that I know how. Wait a minute, I know that speech. You do?
damn it. So Kyle's like,
Oh,
but
soap
you
dish.
don't. Yeah, soap dish reference number 453. Kyle's
Glad you
like,
could fit that one in there, Ben. It's been a long time since we've had a soap dish. Haven't
it's
seen a soap
because
dish
it
since
always
yesterday.
works. It
does.
always works.
Well,
Okay.
it'll always make me happy, that's for sure.
I am on the board of American Soap Dish Theater. Okay, it is my brand.
Foundation. It's the American Soap Dish Foundation.
So Kyle is like, but you don't have to be offended and just like, like walk away instead of making a big scene. It sounds like, what did I do? I walked away. And Kyle goes, well, it was a little excessive. She's like, well, then don't follow me. I mean, Sutton does have a point here, but she definitely walked away in the style of, you have to follow me, though.
Yeah, she should have
She
walked
didn't
away.
say, I'll
in
be
this-
right back. She should have said, like, I'll be right back.
I'll be right back. Gotta use the little girl's room. Can't believe it. Something like that.
Beef
But no.
buffet.
Yeah, she had to make a big scene like, I am morally above everybody here. And so Kyle's like, yeah, that was excessive. And she says, well, don't follow me then. And Kyle's like, well, actually, I was just going to the bathroom and then I saw you guys, which is also not true. Kyle came out to totally fan this flame. And
Yes.
she's like, then fine. Then shut up. And she's like, come on, don't be a bitch to me, Sutton. It's just you don't say that I'm being excessive. I went to the bathroom. That's all I did.
So, of course, Kyle's not buying the story because Sutton brought like a stack of ones, And she says, I've never seen such a switch of personality so fast. And I'm sisters with Kim. So Sutton's like, I excuse myself from the situation. I didn't make it a big deal. All I did was stood up and said, I am on the board of American Ballet Theater, and I do not stand for vulgarity in any sort of form whatsoever. I am calling the manager of Las Vegas.
I don't know why anyone thought I was offended. All I did was stand up and say, sin. We're all going to hell. Read the Bible. Who raised you?
Get a job. So Cal's like, well, even this is a big deal. Like what you're doing. And so it's like, okay, great. I'm glad you feel that way. I do not. I don't feel that way. I'm glad you are down with Sodom and Gomorrah. And I am down with purity. That's okay. We can have differences of opinion.
So Garcelle's like, oh my God, it's just entertainment. She goes, oh, great. You feel that way? I do not feel that way. She goes, and that's okay. So let's just head out to the Sprinter van, okay? The other girls can join us later. The show's almost done. She goes, yeah, okay. Well, I'm going to change my shoes because my feet are numb and I've just had it. So now Kyle, troublemaking as usual.
Troublemaker.
Instead of just saying, okay, I'll hang out on the Sprinter or going back into the show until it finishes, texts the group chat.
She texts Crystal, the birthday girl. The birthday girl
like,
she texts.
Yeah, she's like, we have to leave. Sutton's upset. Which,
yeah.
No, you don't have to leave. I mean, come on.
No one said that. So, and then Kyle's like, no, I'm worried that Erica's going to be offended. I'm like, Erica won't give a shit. First of all, she's going to stay and watch the show. She won't care. So then, So then Crystal gets it. She's like, Crystal's like, guys, we got to go. Something's going on. We got to go. And of course, Erica's like, I really don't care. I'm here to see my friends and some dick. Yeah.
Yeah, because that could have been fun. They could have gone out and partied with the whole cast and stuff.
Yeah.
What a shame. Yeah, they should have just let Sutton go. So then back in the van, they're still talking about this. And Sutton's like, well, all I did, like she's calmed down now. So she's like, all I did was go to the restroom. And then y'all just had to run after me and make it a big deal. And Kyle's like, well, I do think it has something to do with the pants. I think it does. Just trying to rub Kyle. Just rubbing.
So I was like, God, motherfucker, I swear it doesn't have anything to do with that. And Kyle's like, but do you worry about the ballet company? It's like, no. It's about the performance integrity, okay? When you see a show called Magic Mike XXL, you're not expecting the man to put his face in a woman's vagina. What you're expecting is gentle courtship on a stage and a few pirouettes, and then you're done.
All I wanted to see from this show is one of those gentlemen ask one of those women on a second date. Is that too much to see? Is that too much to ask for?
I wanted to see a grand jeté, not a grand slutte.
And did they ever mention what college degrees they had to the young ladies? I don't think so.
Those young men got to start working on some vending machines real soon.
I mean, if a stripper show wants to get me hot, here's what to do. Take off your clothes, then offer me a shawl because it's cold outside, you know? Put down your clothes in a puddle so I can walk over it to get through the front door of the Carinos. That's all I'm looking for.
So then Garcelle's like, Garcelle's like, integrity, got it. But she also said it was about her brand too. And Kyle's like, you're such a bitch. You really are, Sutton. And Garcelle's like, I mean, how far is this walk? How far can we walk to the hotel? And so they start to now Sutton's mad at Kyle. Like, you get real low, Kyle. You're at real low.
Yeah. So Kyle's like, here we are again. She oh wait, hold on. It doesn't matter. So Kyle's like, don't be a bitch to me now. And Garcelle's like, oh my God, there's not enough tequila for tonight. This is all ridiculous. So they finally get to the Sprinter, and
oh, that's right. They're not even in the van yet. They're just walking.
Right. And Sutton's like, well, Kyle, I'm happy to talk to you about it. And she goes, well, I'm happy to talk to you about it too. But first you call me bitch, and then you're accusing me of just walking into conversations. And she's like, well, I'm sorry then. She goes, okay, well, you could say that, but you could also say that she just walked right past and didn't care that I was upset. And she's like, okay, well, I'm sorry I called you that word. I am. Okay, it's almost as bad as a man putting his face in a woman's vagina on a stage. Okay, there, I confess.
Yeah. So now, the show's now over, and Dorit and Erica are talking to like Davis and the other, strippers and everything. And there's like, yeah, well, it was fun. David goes, like, one of them goes, you guys were living, and Dorit's like, we were living. Well, I don't understand. I don't understand gay talk. So David's like, they're all like, thanks for coming and everything. And I goes, yeah, fuck these bitches for leaving early. You guys were great.
Yeah, and Dorit's like, listen, honestly, I'd save this for a little girl on roller skates at a panto somewhere in England. But let me just say, you were brilliant tonight.
I didn't know that there could be such great entertainment without the band Berlin.
She just gets a pie in her face.
Okay, make the panto stop.
So they leave, and now in the Sprinter, Sutton's like, well, now that I'm calm, I'm just trying to work through my brain so I can explain it to y'all so it doesn't blow up. And Garcelle's like, too late, and Erica's not even here.
So they're all worried that Erica's going to lose her mind. So Dorit and Erica show up, and Dorit's like, gee, don't tell me they've been waiting in the van the whole time, just like Berlin the other week. I mean, that would shock me. I mean, are you kidding me, ladies?
Well, she's sitting in there like Judge Judy. Can we please have a flashback of when I told Sutton off that time?
And we get a flashback to 2021 where she goes,
you be quiet, Miss Small Town. Miss, I'm worried about my motherfucking reputation. You shut up.
I would love it if Judge Judy were at this show, because Judge Judy would just be sitting there banging her like, hey, stop it. You don't do that. You don't do that on a show. Stop it.
You don't piss on my leg and tell me it's raining. Fucker.
So Erica comes in. She's like, okay, what's going on? What happened? And Dorit's like, oh, she was offended. I was like, oh, were you really offended, Sutton?
well, I mean, it was spread eagle. You were spread eagle. Your legs were there, and there was a hit, and it was in your crotch. And then we see a flashback 1 hour earlier of all this happening. And then Sutton, Erica's like,
oh my God, that was just my oldest dance partner in the world forever. We've been together for forever. Me, dancing Erica, you know me, old showman Erica.
It was just too much for me. I mean, I was into the Eagle Woman, but not into the spread Eagle Woman, okay? So Erica's like, well, we were going to Magic Mike. We knew what we were going into. And you know what? I'm not going to let this smile and this joy get diminished. I am smiling, right? How do you smile? Is that like empathy? I just don't understand it.
Look at this smile on my face.
It's like,
You're
Erica,
never
you
gonna
are.
take this smile away.
You're frothing, Erica. Now, Erica, you just crinkled your nose. No, you're
They
not
want to
smiling
put
yet.
this picture on a plastic bag at a convenience store. It's so smiley.
Erica should just have one of those things they put in bathrooms where it's like, how'd we do today? You know, you hit like this, it's like this 3 smiley faces. Just like
the mediocre
I don't
button.
give a fuck, each one.
That was funny though. She's like, "You're not gonna take this smile off my face. Like you have not smiled once, ma'am. Okay."
I know. So, and everyone's like shocked because Erica is like not getting into a fight with Sutton right now. Everyone's like, who is this Erica right now? Because Erica gave up fighting for Lent, in case you missed it last week.
Well, Erica's fighting has always been, I don't know what they're so surprised about because I find that Erica's always like this until she's not. There's just that moment where she decides,
You know what? They're saying I'm boring this season, so I'm going to yell at somebody.
but that always comes at the most random times. Like whenever you think Erica should be mad, she's not mad. But then when you think she shouldn't be mad, she's like,
Fuck you, you stupid bitch, and how dare you talk about my son? You don't know what I'll go through in life.
So then Dorit's upset because she's like, guys, they really they paid special attention to us, and they gave us those front row of a balcony, and then all of a sudden they see 80% of us famous ladies are gone, and for half the night. That's just not kind to the guys.
basically, they look at us and they said, your group was robbed. 80% of your group is robbed. So I told PK he's filed it with the insurance. Let's not tell anybody we found you on the van.
It was almost as if we, as a group, had been put into a handbag at the front of a cart and were walked around Walmart, and then when the strippers looked down, we were gone.
Sutton leaves the theatre in a huff, by the way, and then just doesn't come back. I mean, what kind of manners is that? Miss Manners herself. Toughen up, Buttercup.
Dorit saying toughen up Buttercup, it looked like she was debating, am I gonna say this? I'm gonna do it. Toughen up Buttercup. Ooh, that was a lot.
Well, I got really upset, seeing y'all like that on the stage. And Crystal's like, how do you feel about the fact that we didn't get upset, though? And I'm serious. Like, does that change how you feel? And Erica's like,
Am I smiling?
I mean, it's an honest question. Did it change how you feel, Sutton? She goes, no, actually, that's a very good question. She goes, because, I've been married for 20 years. She's been married for 8 years yesterday. She's been together for 30 years. I mean, how do you feel about the fact that I just said a solid 10 seconds worth of words strung together and they weren't edited out of the show? Anybody else grateful? Thank you. Thank you.
I just said a sentence that was longer than anything I said the past 2 episodes, okay? And while I did that, I reminded you that we basically have had 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th dates, just like years and years of dates. So Dorit's like, and I guarantee that our husbands won't even care, especially if you've given them a nice tall can of Pringles. So Kyle's like, Mo would never
you want
care.
To see my husband get a boner. That's how to do it.
He's going to Magic Ruffles XXL.
Magic Doritos Cool Ranch. Listen, you can't fit it on the side of the bus, but I've never seen PK with a bigger chub.
You should have seen when they lowered that dill pickle kettle chip from a rope from the ceiling. How he just laid there and let it rest right on his tongue.
Okay, so Kyle's like, well, Mauricio would never care, and he wouldn't care that I was up there with some man licking whipped cream off me. So really, I don't think that Sutton should be offended either. And Sutton's like, well, I'm sorry. I had a visceral reaction, okay? It was visceral.
Carson's like, it's okay. Just, and I've calmed down. And Kyle's like, I'm going to take it that you've never watched porn with your husband. Wait, hold on one second. Let me call up Mauricio and say, hey, Mauricio, remember the time we watched porn? Also, do you know I've got 5 tattoos? Bye. Boo.
I love that they act like they're all so sexually liberated. Do you remember when Erica came on the show, how they all freaked out and Lisa Rinna wouldn't even talk to her because she's like, I have seen your videos. They were the opposite of. They were
horrified.
Yeah, they were all horrified and slut shaming Erica and all this stuff. And now they're like, oh my God, this is totally how we are now.
Garcelle's like, Sutton's had to have had sex, right? Did she have a stork? Sutton's like, actually, I did. You can pay a lot of money for a stork.
So then they get back and they go to this restaurant, Fuhu, And Erica, they're talking about it more because it's Beverly Hills, and Beverly Hills will take one little thing and make 30 hours out of it. It's like Sutton got offended at a stripper, and now they're going to talk about it for 7 weeks because that's the show. It's just how it rolls.
Yeah, they had to go to a restaurant called Fuhu because if they told the cast we're going to go someplace to get food, they never would have gone. So like, we're going to get Fu, we're going to go Fuhu, guys. Like, okay, cool. So they get there, and Erica's like, well, we didn't even get to see any penises. And Garcelle's like, I mean, if that was a strip club, I'd want my money back.
So they sit down and they order it, and Sutton's like, I know I get very passionate, and Erica, I just want to apologize to you. I am really, really sorry. She's like,
Oh, my thanks. It's all good. I could give a fuck. Not me. I give zero fuck. I mean, look at this smile.
I don't know who this Erica is, but this is not the Erica that we're used to. I mean, look at her. She's literally putting fingers on the side of her mouth and trying to lift those lips up. It's amazing.
and Kyle's saying, where's the yelling, snarling, finger-pointing Erica Jane? I was not expecting this reaction.
So, okay, so what's the plan? Okay, wait, why am I asking what the plan? It's my trip. So they're talking about what the plan is tomorrow. So Garcelle's going to have lunch with Oliver. And Dorit's like, gee, that's nice. I was going to ask about Oliver. Will they ever do a sequel? I love that little cat. I'm not talking about Oliver and Company. I'm just talking about my son, Oliver, but appreciate that reference.
Can I have some more? Not Oliver Twist.
I just love the way he breaks down headlines. Not John Oliver, just my son, Oliver.
Well, PK event sometimes likes him in his martinis. Okay, those are just olives. Dorit, just shut the fuck up. Sit this one out. Okay? So Erica's like,
Is he divorced yet?
and Garcelle says that no, they're almost done, but they're still through the divorce process. And Sutton's like, well, you've had a lot of moments with your boys, and you've handled it so well. You know, I remember some of the times I've had with my children. One of my sons was late to, I found out he was late to work to put stuff in a vending machine when I was teaching him what poor people work like. And when I found out, I stood up in the middle of the restaurant and I said, you will absolutely not give cunnilingus to anybody. And I stormed out of that Carino's, and I've never been the same. You know, so we're basically the same. Good mothers.
And then we have a flashback of Garcelle talking about Oliver's his struggles with addiction and everything, and she says she doesn't mean she doesn't cry sometimes, but at night thinking about it, yada yada. And Dorit's like, well, gee, nobody's perfect, Garcelle. I mean, look at PK. Nobody's. I guess if I'm talking about PK, I would say nobody's charming. Not everyone's charming, right? But you did your best. You did your best, and you showed love, and you show love. And by the way, forgive me for speaking out of turn, but I know a little bit that you've told me, and you've had some hardships with Roberto. That's his name, right? Your son. Anyway, I think that he's going to have a wonderful day tomorrow, doing whatever he does here in Las Vegas. Someone please interrupt me. I have no idea who I'm talking about anymore.
Well, I don't feel comfortable talking to the women about my kids because of the way they treated them last year. And then we see the flashback to last year of Carl being like, oh my God, you guys, do you remember when, did you guys hear when Erica said, and I think it was to the 14-year-old son of Garcelle's, when she said, shut the fuck up. And Mauricio's like, yeah, I love that she did that. And we cut back.
Yeah. And Garcelle's basically like, I don't want to have a conversation with these people about my kids because I don't feel like it's a safe space still. So then we see like a long shot of Sutton trying to eat a fishball, and they're all just staring at her while she tries to like basically chop it in half with her teeth. So.
And Crystal's like, yeah, I'm starting to see why there's no second date ever.
I am on the board of American Ballet Theater. Okay, I will not be seen chewing on a ball. So then Kyle, since Rinna's not there, Kyle's like, guys, I have a game to play. And I was like, oh my God, I thought we didn't have to do this anymore without Rinna.
I know. The back of the cards, the image is just a Rinna wig. She's still in the game, people. She's still in the game. So what's your favorite song to fuck to? Oh my gosh. Crystal picks Al Green because she's married to an old person. No. Nothing says you're married to a senior citizen than picking Al Green.
Let me say that since we directed The Lion King.
What's your song? Mine is Hold the Pickles, Hold the Lettuce, Special Orders, Don't Upset Us. All we ask is that you let us have it your way. Boner. Instant boner. I got it just from singing that.
Mine is We Are the World. We are the children. I mean, if you don't get a boner from all those musicians coming together, then are you a full-blooded male? I don't think so.
That's actually creepy because you had the word children in yours. Creepy. Okay, Benz. You're like, no, never mind. Let me choose.
Never mind.
I believe the children are our future.
Damn it. No. Kids. What's wrong with kids today? Just you wait and see. That's double bad because it's just
All right. We need to
inappropriate, and it's Bye Bye Birdie. Who has sex to Bye Bye Birdie?
Okay, that was stupid.
But by the way, actually, along those lines, Dorit goes, Boys to Men. By the way, Dorit having sex to Boys to Men. What is she having sex to? Motown Philly? Motown Philly's back again. There's a little PK action. It's so hard to say goodbye to a can of Pringles. Ooh, PK.
I wish I knew some Boys to Men song. I would join you, but
because we've come to the end of PK. Oh.
We've come to the end of the tube, and he's still slinging it back to get crumbs in his mouth, to get crumbs in. It's all about a Pringles.
I'll make love to you, 'cause you asked me to, and I really don't have anything else to do. PK. I'm down on bended PK.
Sutton's like, I got one. Kenny G, Somewhere in the Middle. That's a great song. Kenny G, come on.
Kenny G. Who even knows the names of Kenny G songs?
I don't know Somewhere in the Middle, so that's ringing no bells for me. Somewhere in the Middle.
He has that one famous song. But that's how you that's how you distinguish Kenny G songs. You go, but then they all sound the same. Yeah, just sort of. I'm like, I like Candy Dulfer. She was like the only other like smooth jazz saxophonist that had like a top 40 song.
So now the question is, would you guys? I'm trying to wait for the end so I can move on, but
everyone.
Then
well, that will be One Sweet Day. It's over, Ronnie. That's it for Boys to Men songs.
So the next question is, does it turn you on to get watched while you're banging? And Garcelle's like, I would be okay being watched, but I think I'd like to watch. I also like watches. I don't know why we're talking about this.
And swatches. You know who I want to watch me? Boys to Men! I want to have sex in front of all the Boys to Men and even a Belle of DeVoe. That's my kink.
So Garcelle's like, well, I don't want the person in the room watching me. Like, okay, well, how else are they going to watch you? And Dorit's like, she'd want to peep into me. Garcelle's by the window every night, just taking off her shirt.
How many days a week do you have sex? Not enough. And Kyle's like, Sutton, I mean, okay, your answer would be, and she goes, well, if I had a person in my life and not some desultory stripper in my vagina, it'd be twice a day. I was like, what?
What? Yeah, everybody was like, wait a minute. It's like, I know y'all think that I'm a prude, but I would really have sex 2 times a day if I could. Now, by sex, you mean letting my husband rifle through my purse for his pizza orbits. Am I right?
So Kyle's like, you know why I think she got so upset at Magic Mike? Because it was making her want it. Ha. So then Chris, next question. What is the best compliment you've ever received? So Crystal goes, That I have perfect nipples. Everyone's like, whoa, okay, Crystal.
And Sutton's like, yep, I got good nipples. And Dorit says, ooh, I didn't expect that. And Crystal just has a serious face, and she's like, you should expect it. And then she starts laughing.
And then Crystal, out of nowhere in her confessional goes, Dorit, how would you know what a perfect nipple looks like? You haven't seen a real body part in 10 years. I was like, whoa, that just came out of left field. I was like, wow, drive-by shooting right there. Wow.
Like, Crystal really says nothing, and then she just comes out with a nice low ball. You know, it's like, let's go.
Like, I was like, whoa, we're in a stupid fun and games section out of nowhere. Crystal slams the ball.
So then they bring this gigantic ice cream sundae over with like 30 scoops of ice cream and 19 different cones. And you guys who ordered this, don't bring something that'll melt. You know, first of all, it's triggering to anybody with this much Restylane in their face. And second of all, it's just going to make the dessert look bad because no one's going to eat that.
And also, it didn't even make sense with whatever they were eating. Like, what, you know, we see what they're eating. They're eating sort of like upscale, like Asian bistro food. Like, I guess maybe even trending Japanese. Then all of a sudden, this basically Vermonster comes out with like 5 cones upside down, whipped cream everywhere. I was like, who did this? What prank is being pulled right now?
Yeah. So now we're on to what sex toys do you own? And Sutton's like, oh, I have a lot. I just got one named Avi. You've met him, right?
And Dorit's like, I'm so confused. I mean, I'm generally so confused, but I'm more confused than usual right now.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so they get back up to the room and go back to bed. And Dorit's like, whoa, Kyle, you've been a real bundle of laughs today. She's like, what are you talking about? I'm fun. When was I not fun? I even let that guy lay me down in the damn bar. I had whipped cream on me. I had calories on me.
Yeah, remember when I was put up there instead of Sutton? Are these walls thin enough for her to hear that? I hope so. So then, and then there's like more silliness as everyone's getting ready to go to bed. Garcelle's scratching Sutton's back, and then Sutton's scratching Garcelle's back, and
they're making sex sounds like, oh my god, yes, yes,
and
yes.
I love a back scratch. That would be me. And so then Dorit is like, Dorit's still mad about the whole thing that happened at the show. And she's like, I think that tonight is BS. And Kyle goes, well, I think that she was like embarrassed. And it just like made me sad that I couldn't witness the full embarrassment. Like I missed half of it because I was on stage getting whipped cream put on me, Sutton.
And she's like, yeah, you know, I think that cocktails make you get a little overly warmed, I guess. And Dorit's like, listen to me. Cocktails can make you let loose. But if that's cocktails, then maybe she should be the one to stop drinking.
So then everyone's getting into their bed. And it's so weird. I can't imagine what it's like to be on these shows. Like get undressed into your pajamas or whatever you're gonna wear, and get into bed, and then you're just like doing your nighttime rituals, and they're just like someone standing there just recording you. That's so bizarre.
Yeah. Well,
You're
you
like,
know, I have
"Eh."
my OnlyFans webcam running all night, so I know how that feels. I've found the kink of people who just like someone lying there cuddling a body pillow and then turning from side to side all night long, and occasionally on their face. Some people are into it.
So so they're all just sort of like, they just basically all go to sleep. So now it's the morning, and it's 6 a.m. and Kyle goes down to the gym. And she says, the old me would have never gone to the gym in Las Vegas. I would be exhausted and hungover looking for room service. But now I'm like laying there awake since 5 in the morning. And like, why wouldn't I exercise? What would I have thought of? Like, what would I thought of the new Las Vegas, Kyle? She's annoying.
Well, it's you're finally catching up to our opinions, so that's good. That's something about Las Vegas, Kyle.
Yeah, sobriety lets you see things more clearly, I guess.
Yeah. So, what are they doing today?
By the way,
they're vacuuming. They're doing some kind of construction in this Airbnb. I think that's what's going on.
So
or killing somebody and dismembering them. I'm not really sure, but if you hear the noises, that's what's been going on this week.
I also just want to point out, this has nothing to do with your Airbnb, that everyone on this cast went to sleep at like 12:15 in Las Vegas. And I'm sorry, that is very early for Las Vegas. And then Kyle is like complimenting her. She's patting herself on the back for waking up early and going to the gym, which is very impressive. I have to admit, that is impressive. I would never do it. But everyone else wakes up at 7 a.m. and they're all like sitting around at 7 a.m. for breakfast. I'm like, what are you guys doing waking up at 7 a.m. in Las Vegas? And it's also like not that much later than Kyle waking up. So in the end, it's like not actually as impressive what Kyle's doing.
Yeah. So Erica's like,
Well, I walk out here because I woke up early, and who's in a full gym look with her Birkin? Good God, what is this? She needs a Birkin to work out and hold on to cash, or what?
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Kyle is literally working out with a Birkin bag next to her.
and Dorit's like,
Well, according to Kyle, everyone and everything needs to work out. She's fat shaming her Birkin.
I mean, how miserable do you have to be on vacation on a girls' trip to Vegas? You're setting the alarm for 5:30 to go work out in a gym. And Kyle's like, guys, I almost had whipped cream in my mouth, so I had to wake up half an hour earlier to get a longer workout.
now this is my favorite things that friends do when you're doing something healthy for yourself, but your friends are turning it that you're doing like you've become an alcoholic. It's like she stopped drinking and
upset
they're
at
like, I'm so
ourselves.
worried for Kyle. What is Kyle doing? She's working out in the morning. Should we have an intervention? Like they're getting really serious. And Erica's like,
Well, I mean, she's also not drinking at all. She goes, Are you deliberately trying to torture yourself? I mean, she's living in extremes right now. She's hyper. It's not sustainable.
well,
Ladies and gentlemen.
neither are Snickers bars. I still eat them. Well, not everything has to be sustainable. Can we just stop that?
Yeah, no, but you're totally right. Like, 'cause whenever I have a friend who's like really getting into shape, I'm so mad just because I'm not doing it. Like it's ultimately just projection, right? You're like, damn it, fuck them. But yeah, but they're all really upset at Kyle right now. And so Sutton, so now they're eating food. Sutton's eating bacon. She's eating her vacation bacon because she only eats bacon on vacation, which I forgot about. And then Kyle comes back from the gym, and they're like,
Oh, well, she is the person who actually worked out, huh? I bet you think you're cool.
Oh, look, it's Perky Berkey.
What's she call her? And so Kyle's like,
Perky
how's
Birkins?
everybody feeling today? I went to the gym. That's like an unbelievable gym in this place, you guys. Like legit professional. And Garcelle's like, I'll never see it.
okay, well, now that it's 7:15 in the morning and almost no one is awake except for Kyle, who's sitting there pulling a sweaty towel out of a Birkin bag, I have something on my mind I just want to share. So last night when we were sitting at the table and we were talking about Oliver, my son, for those who are not paying attention, I felt disingenuous for myself because I feel like what I really wanted to say is fuck all of you. And then what I really want to say after that was, I wish I was never here. And then what I want to say after that is, fuck you all again. But then what I really wanted to say was, I just don't know if I trust all you guys with my family.
I know you said some nice things over there, but just tell me the truth. I think it's because I'm still a little bit upset with the laughing and all that stuff that happened last year. And she's like, Kyle apologized and Erica apologized. And then we see 2 weeks earlier at the healing retreat when Kyle apologized, and 1 year earlier when Erica's like,
Well, I'm sorry, I guess. Now, please take this genuine smile as a form of compensation.
I understand how you feel according to these rules of empathy. I think it's working. Now
Whatever
let me
that
put on
is.
your shoe. Oh, I don't have to literally do that? Never mind.
so, yeah, we see the cut back to that. And she's like, Dorit's like, well, I didn't laugh at Jax. And Garcelle's like, I know you said that, but I just feel like I want to protect my family, and I still want to protect my family from this. And Dorit's like, oh, she's saying she doesn't trust us with the family when we talk about the kids.
And Garcelle's like, thank you. And so Dorita's all upset because she's like, well, I thought whatever issues I had with Garcelle, like those were all resolved and everything seemed okay. So now Garcelle, like, it's hurtful. It makes me feel angry. It feels like we're going back and everything. So Dorit is making herself the victim in this situation where she did the wrong thing.
So Garcelle's like, yeah, I can't trust this group with my family right now. And Erica's like,
That's sad.
yeah, well, Jax and I have been going through some stuff, and if I'm in this group, I want to feel like my, I would want to feel like you guys want to protect your kids too. Like if I was somebody that came after your kids, you know what I mean? And Kyle's like, okay, yeah, 1,000,000%. We get it. And Dorit's like, but what has to happen, Garcelle? I mean, it's been over a year. Well, so is your robbery, and you're gonna have a whole season about your trauma or whatever. And guess what? I'm not saying that you shouldn't. I'm saying you should. It takes as much time as it takes. You take your time with that, and she takes her time with this. I don't know why you need to argue about it. Sometimes it's just okay to say, okay, I understand you and I support you.
Take your time.
So hard.
I do think it's weird. I will say this. I think Garcelle is well within her rights to like withhold and not feel like it's a safe space. I do think it's kind of strange to announce it. To be like, by the way, I still don't feel comfortable sharing stuff with you guys. For me personally, maybe it's just the way I operate. If I didn't feel comfortable sharing stuff with the group, I just wouldn't share that stuff and I'd move on. And then later on, when I feel more trusting, then I will share more stuff. I don't think I have to like let people in on how I'm feeling. I don't think even Garcelle was being fake the night before. She gave like a like a surface level update on Oliver, and that was it. And she kept it moving. There's nothing fake about that.
My guess is that the resolution last season was at the reunion. So all this stuff had happened with her son. Erica yelled at him at a party, but then it turned into all this online bullying where bots were hired and bots came after this kid and no one really did anything to stick up for this kid. And then they went to the reunion where Diana claimed that she was hiring somebody to find the whatever of these bots. And then it's just never mentioned again because Diana was fired off this show. And so I think this is Garcelle's way of being like, this was the storyline that happened last year and it ended up being a real fucking trauma for my kid. It was more than someone just yelling at my kid at this party. It turned into a lot more, and it still makes me feel weird around you guys, like the whole reaction to that. So I think she's kind of trying to rehash that for an ending to that story, but it's being taken so literally as, I can't talk to you about my children. I think it's coming off a little awkwardly, but I think that's what we're going for here.
Yeah. I think that Garcelle's like struggling. I think that Garcelle's all about transparency. And I think that sometimes people feel like it's really like if you don't say what's on your mind at all times, you're not being transparent, which I guess maybe is true. But I think that like for me, transparency is more like when I tell you something, it's totally truthful and there's like nothing there to hide. And I think that you can be totally transparent, but you can also like choose, like it doesn't mean you have to share every single thing, right? And I think that she's probably struggling like with the idea of like trying to be a transparent person, but at the same time, have some sort of protection for her children. So either way, so she says this stuff. So Dorit is like very, very offended. Instead of just saying like, got it. Well, it's a shame. You know, she could even say like, you know, like she shouldn't say anything. She should just say, got it. Actually, there's nothing really she should say beyond that. And like, just let Garcelle come to her rather than like trying to like force Garcelle to like be more comfortable, because that's not how you make people comfortable, you know?
Yeah. So Garcelle's like, well, listen, you can't put a time on it, okay? And Dorit's like, well, listen, Garcelle, you've known us for 3 years. You know people. I mean, if they're good people and if they're bad people. And Garcelle's like, oh, I'm not saying you're a horrible person. I think you're taking this wrong. And Erica's like,
Well, how friendship moves forward, everybody has to come to a place where they say, okay, we all give as much of a fuck as the next one to us. We all have to give the same amount of not giving a fuck. You know what I'm saying?
Sounds like, well, and if you're hurt, it might take time. Sort of like if you've been exposed to vulgar behavior the night before, it might take a few days before the images get out of your head. That's all.
and Sutton's telling us, well, I understand why Garcelle feels like this, because when you watch your husband making fun of a child and you don't say anything, you're just as responsible. So Dorit's like, what the hell? I didn't do anything, but her husband did. And we see a clip of PK being a little asshole, you know, as usual, and Sutton just being like, oh, PK.
Right. And Dorit's like, well, to say I don't trust you with my kids, I mean, that to me, it hits right to my heart. Look at my heart. It's being hit right now. And so Garcelle's like, I feel like you're making me feel like I need to apologize to you for how I feel because you're so hurt. Which is right. Like, Dorit's doing that thing where, like, Dorit did something wrong. Garcelle's reacting to it. She's expressing her reaction. And now Dorit is offended by how Garcelle reacted to Dorit's initial wrongdoing.
Don't turn it around on me now. And she's like, no, but that's what it feels like to read. She's like, just say that. Listen, I don't trust that your feelings about my kids are genuine. It's hurtful. Just what I'm the one who's hurt here. So Kyle's like, okay, I understand that, and we apologize for that, and we don't need to apologize again. And Dorit's like, just because you shared your feelings, I'm sharing my feelings. Aren't we sharing feelings?
Garcelle's like, okay, I'm gonna shower, and Kyle's like, it's not fair. It's not fair. I'm like, well, she's allowed to shower too. And Erica's like,
What's going on? I don't. Are we empathizing right now? We putting on each other's shoes. What's going? Okay, hold on. All right. Does this make it better? I put on a smile on my face, holding it up with my fingers.
So Garcelle's like, this is the problem with Dorit. She talks, but she doesn't listen. And she takes things and then she makes them personal, and then she becomes a victim. And that's why she has to walk away, And Dorit's like, well, I still withhold when I feel something. And I want to say something. And it comes from my heart. And I won't say it. And it's okay. We'll take the time. We'll take the time. And Garcelle's like, geez, how did we get here? What the hell just happened?
yeah. And so she leaves. And so now it seems
I honestly
like
don't even understand the sentence I just read. But let's
What?
keep going. Sometimes I don't even understand my notes. But that's a Beverly Hills fight. Man, they really go over it so many times. And I'm like, what are we even talking about anymore?
Yeah.
Who's mad?
So yeah, so now there's a new fight. Because I was wondering, I was like, after the Magic Mike stuff happened, I was like, why is this episode still going? And I was like, oh, this is the new thing. So now Garcelle and Dorit are tense again, and we're gonna see how it all plays out next week. But in the meantime, thanks everyone for being here. I don't know how we got this much content out of an episode that not a huge amount happened, but what did happen was very funny to me. I was laughing this entire episode. I really loved it. So thanks everyone for being here. We still have Southern Charm, a big, exciting, supersized Southern Charm to talk about. Maybe not exciting, but it is big. It is long.
It's very tall.
It is like
everybody
Southern
on
Charm
that cast.
XXL. It's tall. It's tall. Stuff happens. Anyway, thank you all for being here, and we will catch you on the next episode. Bye.
Bye.